Right now, try to tickle yourself. Seriously, do it. Dig your fingers into your own ribs, your own neck, the bottom of your own foot, the exact spots where, if someone else did it, you'd be helpless. Squirming, laughing, begging them to stop. Nothing. You feel your fingers. You feel the pressure. But the tickle, the involuntary, electric, unbearable part, just isn't there. You cannot do it. Nobody can. Now think about how strange that is. It's your body. They're your nerves. It's the exact same touch. The only thing that changed is who's doing it. And somehow, that one fact switches the entire sensation off. Your brain knows the difference between you and not you. And it's using that knowledge right now to censor what you're allowed to feel. Here's what makes this more than a party trick. For your brain to cancel your self-tickle, it has to do something genuinely strange. It has to know what your hand is about to do before your hand does it, and prepare the exact counter-signal to erase the feeling in advance. Think about what that requires. Every time you move, every reach, every scratch, every step, your brain is running a silent prediction of what that movement will feel like and quietly subtracting it out before it ever reaches your awareness. You don't feel your own touch at full volume. You never have. Your brain turns you down, and it does this to almost everything you do to yourself. The feeling of your own tongue in your mouth, your clothes on your skin, your own heartbeat, all of it predicted and dimmed so you can pay attention to what actually matters, the world and the things in it that you didn't cause. The tickle is just the one place where you can catch this censorship in the act. It's the loophole, and when you pull on it, it unravels something unsettling. You are not feeling reality. You're feeling reality minus everything your brain saw coming. So how does it pull this off? In 1998, a young neuroscientist named Sarah Jane Blakemore, working with Daniel Wolpert and Chris Frith at University College London, set out to catch this mechanism in a brain scanner. She put people in an fMRI machine and gave them a tactile stimulus on their palm, a soft, tickling touch. Sometimes the machine delivered it. Sometimes the person delivered it to themselves. The exact same touch, either way, and the brain lit up differently. When the touch was delivered from outside, a region called the somatosensory cortex, the part that registers touch, responded strongly. But when the person produced the identical touch themselves, that same region went quiet, dimmed. The brain was actively turning down a signal it had generated itself, and she found where the prediction was coming from. The cerebellum, a dense knot of tissue at the back of your skull that helps coordinate movement. When you move to touch yourself, the cerebellum takes a copy of that movement command and uses it to predict the exact sensation that's about to arrive. Then it sends out a cancellation signal, precisely shaped to erase it. Scientists have a name for that copy of the movement command. It's called an efference copy, the brain sending itself a memo about what it's about to do, so the rest of the brain can prepare. It's the same trick your brain uses to keep the world from smearing when your eyes move, and to shut you down cleanly when you fall asleep. Your whole life, this quiet prediction machine has been running underneath everything, and you've never once noticed it. The tickle is what it looks like when the prediction is perfect. No error, no surprise, no tickle. But a good scientist doesn't stop at the brain predicts it. She asks, what if I make the prediction wrong on purpose? So Blakemore built a machine, a robot. You hold a lever in one hand. When you move the lever, a robotic arm reaches over and strokes the palm of your other hand. So you're still the one causing the touch. You're driving it. But now there's a machine in the middle. And here's the dial she added. A delay. She could make the robot deliver your self-produced touch a fraction of a second late. With zero delay, it felt like a normal self-touch, barely ticklish. Cancelled as usual. But as she cranked the delay up, 1/10 of a second, 2/10, 3, something remarkable happened. The touch started to feel ticklish. Your own movement. Your own hand driving it. And the longer the delay, the more ticklish it got. Sit with that. The touch didn't change. The pressure didn't change. The only thing that changed was whether it arrived when your brain predicted it would. Line up with the prediction, nothing. Fall a fraction of a second behind it, and suddenly your brain decides this touch is coming from the outside world, flags it as not you, and lets the full sensation through. That's the whole system laid bare. Your brain isn't asking, did I cause this? It's asking, did this arrive exactly when and how I predicted? And if the answer is no, even by 200 milliseconds, it reclassifies the touch as coming from someone else, from out there, from a potential threat, which means the line between me and not me, the most basic border you have, isn't fixed. It's a prediction, and it can be fooled by a fraction of a second. Now here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. If the feeling of "this is me doing this" is just your brain successfully predicting your own actions, then what happens to someone whose prediction machine is broken? They exist, and Blakemore tested them too. There is a group of people who can tickle themselves. No robot, no delay, no trick. They just reach down, tickle their own palm, and feel it, fully, ticklishly, as if a stranger were doing it. They are people with schizophrenia, specifically those who experience what psychiatrists call delusions of control. The feeling that their own arms, their own movements, sometimes their own thoughts, are not their own, that some outside force is moving them. For years that sounded like a metaphor, a figure of speech for a confusing inner experience. Blakemore's work suggests it's something far more literal. In these patients, the mechanism that predicts and cancels their own actions is faulty. The efference copy isn't matching up. So when they move their own hand, their brain genuinely does not recognize the movement as self-produced. Which means when they tickle themselves, their brain at the deepest sensory level concludes that someone else is doing it. The border between self and world has quietly failed, and the tickle is the proof you can feel. Think about what that tells you about your own sense of self. That unshakable feeling that you are the author of your own movements, that you are the one in control, isn't a fact your brain reads off reality. It's a conclusion your brain computes, moment to moment, by checking its predictions against what happens. When the math works, you feel like you. When the math breaks, the most fundamental certainty you have, that your own hand belongs to you, can simply dissolve. You are not feeling that you're in control. You are being told you're in control by a system quietly doing the arithmetic in the dark, and it can get the answer wrong. And here's how fragile that arithmetic really is. In 2019, researchers publishing in the journal eLife showed the whole system can be retrained. They gave people a consistent delay between their movement and the touch over and over, and their brains quietly relearned the timing, retuning the prediction to the new wrong clock. Then came the strange part. Once the brain had adjusted, normal, undelayed self-touch, the touch that should feel like nothing, suddenly started to feel ticklish. For a while, these people could tickle themselves. Not because anything about their hand had changed, but because the prediction was now set to the wrong beat, and reality no longer matched it. The border between self and world had been nudged out of place by nothing more than practice. So go back to the start. Try to tickle yourself one more time. That nothing you feel, that flat, cancelled, unticklish nothing, isn't nothing. It's the sound of a prediction landing perfectly. It's your brain running a calculation it has run 1 billion times, quietly concluding, "This is me. I did this. Nothing to see here." And that same silent calculation is running behind everything else you do. Every touch you dampen, every movement you own, every moment you feel like a single continuous person in control of a single continuous body. All of it held together by a prediction machine you never asked for, never notice, and can't switch off, one that decides, faster than you can think, which parts of the world are you and which parts are not. Most of the time it's right, and you get to walk around feeling like the solid author of your own life. But it's only ever a calculation, a very good guess, made in the dark, about where you end and the world begins. The reason you can't tickle yourself is that your brain is too good at knowing it's you. And the strangest thought of all is the one hiding underneath that. The you doing the knowing, and the you being known were never quite the same thing.